99 bottles, yeah, we've got 'em all. Line 'em all up and we'll drink till we fall. 'Cause Arthur Cantina's the best liquor store. Arthur Cantina, you'll never need more.
Welcome to the Arthur Cantina Podcast. I'm your host, Big A. And this is my co-host,
JP.
Fringe Believer, JPB.
Teller of truths, and welcome to the Life with the Mask Off podcast.
So, anyway,
Good morning,
good morning,
good
everyone.
afternoon, good night,
Whatever time you're watching
yeah.
this. Today we're gonna sample Yamazaki 18 from our good friend,
The Goofy, Commander Goofy.
Commander G, Oliver, who is a devout follower of the podcast, comments on every episode.
He does.
He was very kind of us to send Yamazaki 18.
Yeah. Last comment he made on the episode was about how Goldust was his favorite wrestler, and it shows how Goldust influenced Oliver as a young child and a young man today.
Hot take.
Oh, I was doing the Goldust. Oh my God.
You gotta be ready at all times. Keep your hands up at all
I
times.
almost broke Nick's glass. Shout out Nick.
Another big fan of the podcast.
We should have Nick on. We could technically have them
Cantina
both on.
podcast glasses. I asked him to be on a couple days ago, and
Which one?
the
Nicolette.
Nicolette.
The rule is you're only allowed to be on the podcast if you worked here after you've been released.
That is also
So we
true.
had Figs.
Also true. I had Figs after we fired him.
We can have Oliver, and
yeah.
we can have Nick.
But he gave me some weird answer that went around saying no, went around saying yes.
He's scared. He doesn't want to meet his heroes, and I don't blame him.
Not sure what his beef is, but if you want Nick on the podcast, comment in the section below.
Listen, he doesn't want to meet his heroes, and I agree. Well, yesterday we met. He's not a hero. I'm a fan of his. Well, we could talk about. I guess we could talk about. We went to.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, let's do the tasting. First of all,
salute to Oliver.
salute to the color. You don't really see this color in a Japanese whiskey. You agree? Well, it's 18 years. 18 years. That's a long time in a barrel.
How would you describe this color
Amber.
chromatically? Amber? I
Amber.
don't know if I'd say amber.
Toffee.
Definitely honey.
Honeyish.
That's a very nice
Smell right off the nose.
like wild honey color.
Now, this is an interesting whiskey because Japanese whiskeys I'm not a fan of. I think they taste like watered down bootleg scotches. I'm sick and tired of people pretending not to. However, just off the bat, the color, you don't really see that in a Japanese whiskey.
On the nose, you get
On the nose,
nice sweetness.
exactly. You're getting that sweetness. You're getting with that hint of that, like we don't like, you and I, that soapy scotch.
Also a trick too for people tasting at home. If you're tasting along with us, smell with your mouth closed, then smell with your mouth open. You're risking looking like an idiot with your mouth open, but
That's why
they really smell a lot more.
when you watch other videos and or podcasts of people doing whiskey tastings, so immediately I turn it off when they smell the whiskey and they go, their mouth closed. This guy doesn't know shit. They're bozos. They got the fancy production. We may not have fancy production, but we know what the fuck we're doing.
All right. We're not some like upbeat, overly giddy people. I can't stand people like that.
Yeah, fuck.
Disgusting.
Well, anyway, first of all, kind of sweet on the nose.
I get a little
almost
bit
honey on the nose.
I get a little bit of soap,
Yeah, I get that scotch.
which I despise. I cannot stand soap in my whiskey. It drives me crazy, and it makes me not want to drink more than a sample.
Immediately on the tongue.
Again, the soap right at the end. I haven't even tasted it yet.
I just took a sip. I'm gonna give you my 2 cents. My 3 sons. Chip Douglas. Sweet again. Drinks more like an American bourbon, I would say, than a typical Japanese.
The front half of that whiskey I would say, oh, it's a bourbon.
Mhm.
So like some kind of high rye bourbon. At the finish, though, is when the whiskey kicks in.
The Scotch.
The Scotch.
The Japanese whiskey. A little bit of that soap I get.
Yeah, it's not overly present on the tongue. It's super there in the nose. It's like the calling card on the nose.
Honestly, it's a fantastic whiskey. I'm a naysayer of the Japanese whiskey. By far the best Japanese whiskey I've ever tasted.
Initially, you get that huge peak, that spike of almost like a peppery, like kind of like spicy kind of feeling in the beginning. It's there in the second one, but it comes in dialed in the second sip. It means it's calmer coming in, and the spice kind of reemerges on the sides of the tongue. It's just like prickling.
I got a lot of caramel right off the bat. As soon as it hits your tongue, it like cools my tongue with like sweetness. And then again, at the end, I'm getting the heat.
Almost this pepperish at the finish, like a green pepper kind of taste, like almost like a smoked pepper.
I'm getting that nice, that relaxed Scotch. It was fantastic whiskey. I always like to be the naysayer. I mean, such dark color, and that's, I don't know what barrels they age this in.
That's a good question.
I don't know how big the barrels are, but I'm saying the color is just so. And it's a
good
twist off too, by the way.
Indicator for whiskey is the alcohol is not the over present indicator. It doesn't overpower anything. The alcohol here kind of just is there. You feel the warmthness, but there's no spike in alcohol.
Yeah,
it's so like, it's like you climbed on a hill, now you're going downhill. It's just like nice and gentle and relaxed.
Honestly, I might throw this in category one of my favorite whiskeys.
Definitely, top of the Japan. 18,
Best Japanese I've ever had.
I've had Yamazaki 18 so many times in restaurants, at bars. I only paid for it once. But this is top of my list for Japan.
Yamazaki 18 single malt.
This is great.
And you know what it reminds me of? The softness on my tongue. Usually, like you're saying, you drink a whiskey, especially the first shot, it burns you. Smooth like butter. Reminds me of the Pappy 12. That's why I love the Pappy 12. I can drink it. I let it go all over my tongue, the sides of my tongue, the back of my tongue. There's no spike. There's no burn. There's no cowboy facing it. It's just calm.
The finish of this whiskey is like you just changed the sheets in your bed. Got out the shower, you put on fresh pajamas.
Yeah.
It's early, so you're gonna have a long night of sleep, and you just slide into that mattress.
It's a long, hard day to work.
Like that, I like a nice comforter, a little heavy. That's how this whiskey finishes. Fucking soft and elegant.
Yeah, wow. I love it.
Like,
how do you like it, Joey?
Just getting cold. So that comforter feels like ice on you.
Joey likes it. Joey says really good. You can never hear him, but he likes it. Mikey likes it. That old Mikey likes it commercial.
Now on the box they're saying color deep amber.
Now
I said 100.
Natural color. I said amber. See?
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, I hope to God.
I hope they're not putting additives in there.
I'd hope to God it's natural
dropping
color
in a fucking 18-year-old.
No,
have to drop the bomb again if they did that shit.
Raisin, apricot. You have to bleep that out. Cafe
on the nose.
Auli, some French
sweet on the nose, even in an empty glass.
Mizunara, Japanese oak.
Okay.
Mizunara is an expensive barrel. For people who don't know, it is what I've been told, a twisting, knotty tree. So when they chop them down, there's not many pieces of wood they can use that are suitable for a barrel. Well, what does that mean? Costs a lot of money. You got to chop a lot of trees down. These trees are only so old to make this Mizunara cask. So they're a lot more expensive. A bourbon barrel cask, I've been told, anywhere from $250 to $500 for a brand new bourbon cask. Mizunara, I've heard, is in excess of 6, 8, 10 times that. So you are paying a lot more for the Mizunara oak. Does it make the difference? I guess. But it is a product of Japan. So if you want a Japanese whiskey, you want Japanese grain, you want Japanese barrel, you want Japanese oak. What are you doing? I have water.
Oh, well.
Okay, I can't slide.
It's a water bottle. It's not a...
Palate Blackberry, strawberry jam, dark chocolate. I did get a lot of sweetness.
I get the sweetness. I
I
mean,
don't know
can see
about
they
blackberry, strawberry. Dark chocolate, I could see that.
I get the sweetness. A little blackberry in there. Not trying to let it influence me, but I get more, like I said, caramel, more vanilla, more very light.
That's why I like to read it afterwards. So we give
It
our
doesn't
initial
influence,
thought,
yeah.
and then we see what they officially say and see if we're on spot or not.
I'll tell you right now, it's fantastic. And
I didn't get blackberry. I didn't get strawberry. Jammy, yeah, a little bit. Dark chocolate, kind of. Finish, long, spicy, smooth. So spicy, smooth. I mean, I didn't put the long part in there, but it is a long finish. That's another good indicator of a good quality spirit. Is a finish just keeps on developing as you're sipping something.
problem with this, a bottle like this, gets pricey. And if I had this, I'd fucking polish it off. I'd be like, motherfucker.
Well, you know what? I think we have another drink on Mr. Oliver.
Yeah.
Mr. Revelio says he's going to be here on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Never showed.
Supposed to be here when we went out for your birthday. Didn't show. Guy flew in with a helicopter from D.C. to New York City, and he couldn't come to the Bronx. What a
solid.
scumbag. So now,
thanks for the drink.
yeah, this drink's on you, big boy. Well, it's not that big. It's a little string bean. You got it? You want more? Joey's being nice.
Something about bottle design. Somebody was talking about.
A little. I
Might have
also
been
get
Tommy.
like almost like a maple syrup on the nose too.
Yeah, you get that sweetness. It comes through.
Fantastic.
Whatever it's coming through on, whatever kind of sugar it is. Bottle design is a big thing. I didn't realize this.
Soft drink, soft finish, fantastic.
Maybe this one was easier to slide across the bar because the design of the glass is better. It's balanced. I don't know.
Balanced like a who makes the swords?
I don't know.
Fucking Hatimoto. Whatever.
That's whatever Quentin Tarantino says in the movie. I don't know. I forgot the guy's name.
Quentin Tarantino. Whatever. I won't go into that. Big best friends with Harvey Weinstein.
Miramax?
Yeah.
The son of Miramax?
He is the Miramax. The son of Miramax.
What's the price you pay, man?
Overrated.
Fame and fortune.
Overrated movies. And people are afraid to say that. Overrated movies.
We're all about getting allocated whiskey in here, but if I gotta watch some guy jerk off in a plant,
Not doing it.
I'm not getting that whiskey.
If I gotta
Sorry.
touch some weird fucking decrepit little turtle dick, not gonna happen.
What a scenario to
The
be
only
in.
decrepit little turtle dick I'm touching is my own. Not
And we're off YouTube. Thank
not
you.
some Hollywood controller.
We gotta put explicit on all these episodes so people listen to this in their car. With their
No, it'll
kids.
be fine. I didn't say anything about
Like,
you know who
no,
and about you know what.
No, it's not what he. That's
Oh,
not,
it's a whiskey
What's a-
tasting. Why are they talking about little slimy turtle dicks?
what's a turtle dick, Daddy? Well, son.
Try to show to you.
So I'm
I should
getting.
have spit this out because I just kind of gulped it down.
I'm getting a
wanna
little bit of
savor it.
soap
I told you, you have that soap. You have that.
on like the left side of my tongue.
It has the touch of the scotch. The scotch element that I hate, that soap taste.
I fucking despise it.
But
Despise it.
it's not like, whatever scotch that we taste that, the guy will always buy. He'll buy a bunch of fancy scotches, let us try them. And I go, yeah, it tastes like soap. And then he gives me a look like, I don't know what I'm talking about. But I'm like, no, it tastes like soap and it sucks. I don't care how expensive or how rare the fucking shit is. But this doesn't have, it has, that's because it's not peated. It's not a peaty scotch, which I like. Has a little touch of soap. But all the other characteristics are like of a very fine bourbon.
How does that soap and kind of like translate into the spice?
That's what I'm saying. It's very interesting. I like it. I really do enjoy it.
We're gonna get a scientist here one day on the show to break down all the chemicals in every alcohol.
Yeah, me, I'm the scientist.
We'll be here all day. Get a guy with a mass spectrometer, and he could break down every little thing that's in the
I'll wear a lab
alcohol.
coat and you'll believe everything I say, right?
So this guy wants me to get riled up because he's a non-believer. That's okay.
I believe that we will win. I feel like my hair's very greasy today. I got my hat on. You don't got your hat on. We never did a Gettysburg episode. Got this at Gettysburg. Shout out to the men that we lost in that great war to keep this country together. We'll have a moment of silence.
Should play like the Rockets' Red Glare.
And the national anthem, you mean?
Yeah. Where's the guy who sings it?
Who's the guy who sings it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anybody could sing
You don't know about it? Francis Scott Key.
He wrote it?
Yeah.
He didn't sing it. There's a difference.
Well, you made the thing. It wouldn't exist without him. So they say.
Who's the guy who sang? Whitney Houston sang it the best, right? Shout out Whitney, R.I.P.
Whitney Houston,
Legend. Don't do crack, man.
Maybe crack makes you a superhero. Maybe she took the crack and so she evolved into Whitney Houston. Who knows? Someone knows.
Crazy.
There's
Remember,
a documentary out there.
She had this show on MTV with Whitney and Bobby. And it was a reality show. They just followed them around. Like one of the greatest singers to ever live.
I never watched it.
And they were just like, because I think they were trying to piggyback off like the Osbournes. It was like one of the OG reality television shows.
It was
after? I think it was after.
I haven't seen it.
And it was just them. I don't know if they actually smoked crack on the show, but there's one part Whitney Houston's trying to take a dump. And she's like, Bobby, it's not coming out. You got to pick it out of my ass for me. And Bobby was like, going to pick the dump out of her ass. Now, obviously, I think if you do opioids, right, it makes you constipated. She's probably on a bunch of, drugs, obviously. But you don't remember that? Whitney and Bobby? Reality show on MTV? Yeah.
I don't know if you can clip it in, Joey. Clip that scene in there.
I don't know if you can. We definitely get taken down by Viacom or whatever. I don't even know if Viacom's still a thing.
I think if it's like a 5-second clip, it'll be fine. Or 3-second clip.
I don't know if you're going to find it. Joey, Whitney Houston trying to take a dump.
That chair was too big. Come out of foot, and she couldn't get it out. And I had to help him. So nothing worked. I had to put these fingers.
We'll see. If it happens, it happens. You don't got to go crazy.
For our listeners at home on the Apple Podcast or Spotify, we'll describe what this video is in this segment.
I mean, you got to watch it.
Yeah, who knows, man? Maybe alcohol makes great people. Maybe crack makes great people. That's a whole other study you can execute and try to find out about. I think we should wrap up another 5 minutes.
All right. You want to talk about what we did last night? A little current events. We went.
Go ahead. You break down the first part. I'll break down the second part.
Okay. I get it. We went to Staten Island. Shout out to Tommy Superbird. Watch the last week's episode. We had him on. He invited us out to Staten Island, the Ferry Hawk Stadium, where we watched Fight Factory. What was it called?
Fight Factory.
Fight Factory Wrestling.
Yeah.
We had a great time. It took us an hour and a half to get there because it's New York City, and it's the worst city in the world. Don't believe everything you read. It's the worst city in the world, worst traffic in the world. Anyway.
Some would say the best city.
It's a piece of dump city run by dumb people. Anyway.
Guy who's been to a lot of cities is the best city.
I've been to a lot of cities, and let me tell you.
Are they cities if they're less than 1 million people?
Tokyo? It's the biggest city in the world.
Well, yeah. Tokyo.
Okay.
Fucking whole other place.
Okay.
They got no kids over there.
Amsterdam, London.
You think Rome is nice? Dog shit everywhere. Gypsies in every corner.
Yeah. Okay. New York. So different.
Not every corner.
So different.
At least they're knocked out by the crack.
We don't call them gypsies. We call them crackheads. And there's human shit everywhere.
The active gypsies got the fucking hand underneath the fake baby. Okay. And they take your fucking shit.
Because nobody robs anyone around here.
Listen,
we're not going to get into that.
Don't get close to me. It's America's mantra. We're not going to get pickpocketed.
We're not going to get into it. New York City is
herded into the small, tight confines.
This guy's just brainwashed by the liberal media to think that New York City is this beacon of hope still. It's a dump.
I never said it's a beacon of hope.
Leave. Anyway, took us an hour and a half to get there. Should be the fucking...
You want a helicopter ride in the city? We got it.
Yeah. Oliver got it. Not me.
You want a boat? Got it.
Anyway, we went to this wrestling ring. We had a great time.
An interconnected subway system that doesn't really work but runs 24/7?
I've been to 8 different cities that have better subway system. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. You get me riled up. It worked. We went there. We saw, shout out Enzo Amore. Got to meet him. He just kind of, hey, nice to meet you. You like my hat? I was marking out. I had my Certified G hat on. We saw, who else was there? AJ Francis, formerly Top Dollar from WWE, was there. And it was just a good time. It was fun. Everyone was having fun in the crowd. You know, everyone was razzing the wrestlers. They were giving it back. Again, shout out Superbird. Shout out Tommy. Thanks for having us. We had a great time. You know, nothing outside of the ordinary of the, you know, maybe show a picture of Enzo Amore. Shout out Enzo. I'd love to get him on the podcast, but, you know, probably have to pay him in cocaine or something. I don't know.
I guess he's never come on the podcast.
He's been on the Legion of Skanks a bunch of times. But yeah, besides that, we had a great time. And then after that, I decided to take my good friend Anthony on the way home, which also took another forever to get back home, to a nice little spot in Flushing. One of my favorite little dumpling spots. I don't know how the hell you say the name of the restaurant.
Zhang Soup Noodles. Place in Flushing, Queens. It's on the corner. You gotta go find it. Go on Google Maps and mess around on there for 10 minutes. You'll find it. Right across the street from the municipal parking lot. So you look it up, you can find it. Whatever the name is. Place was great. I knew off the bat. You walk in, the vibe was right. Place was full of people, hustling, bustling. No
This was
messing
like
around.
11 o'clock at night.
So we walked up the stairs. Within a minute, someone was like, "Oh, yeah, right here, table for two." Bam, sit down. Kind of service I like. Fast, to the point. Get your food in and out. I mean, food came out in 10 minutes, but you talk about a nice spread of food. And
We're like kings.
it's funny, too, because I always see Chinese food as being maybe the closest thing to Italian food, in the sense that they use
Noodles? Oh, this looks
Noodles,
like spaghetti.
right? Dumplings, what's that? That's fucking ravioli. It's the same fucking thing, just done in their style.
I mean, I guess.
You got a ton of sauces, which we love different sauces, different, you know, tomatoes and olives and whatever.
Some say they invented tomato sauce.
Right? And then they say that they invented noodles too. I don't know. I'm not a food scientist, doctor. This loud music's throwing me
Oh,
off.
that's Birdman.
Okay. Screaming and yelling outside threw me off right now. But there's a lot of comparisons I could see. Anyway, the neighborhood itself, food was great. Food was great. But where it was located, when we talk about a piece of this city, it was located in a spot that was still hustling and bustling at 11:30 at night. I haven't seen a part of the city like that in a while. Maybe because I haven't gone down to Manhattan too much, but definitely don't see it around here. And also makes me a little jealous and envious of how nice of a community surrounds that restaurant. I didn't feel unsafe at any point. Walking around like normal, like how you should be. There was hotels there. They had, you know, for blocks and blocks, it felt like you almost transported to a different part of the fucking planet. You know, everything's in a different language, and you're like, what the hell? And it's so immersive, like you're in that place in that moment. I really wish we could have something like that over here on Arthur Avenue. And it makes me weary because I see like, damn, that's what we could be. We could be set up like that. We could be a lot more of a community built here. But I guess for a lot of reasons we're not. It makes me envious. But what I did like was their super interconnected way you can get there. You had the train there. You had the bus there. I could see people coming off the flights. They were going into the hotels, like the captains of the flight and everything, the stewardesses. And it's like, damn, it's like its own little city in a way inside of another city. Food was great, though. Talk about cheap eats and out in 10 minutes, fantastic. We had beef tripe, which I haven't had in a long time because some guy in the neighborhood over here used to cook it good, made it terrible one time. I got sick like a dog, and I never ate it again since. And I've had it. That was probably the second time I've had it since I've had that really bad experience. I was puking my brains out. It was terrible. I can't eat tripe to today, except for yesterday.
You gotta tell me who that was.
Well, they're no longer here, so I'll tell you off camera. But thank God, for a reason. Sometimes you gotta go out of business. But beef tripe was great. Then we had beef noodles, udon noodles. I don't know what kind of cut of pasta that is, but delicious. We had the pork scallion pancake. It's fantastic. You know, it's a breakfast item. Sorry.
It was big too.
Fantastic. It was gigantic. Duck sauce, beef on the inside, crispy, crunchy, a little doughy, almost like a little Mexicanish too, if you think about it, like a fucking taco-ish kind of thing. That was great. We had, would you get the peanut wonton?
Yeah, I love those pork and vegetable peanut wonton.
Fantastic.
Peanut sauce wonton is fantastic.
And then I let it brew for a little bit, and I still got one more hungry. Oh, then the soup dumplings came out. All right, well, I guess we don't have anything like that, but the dough, the meat in the inside, besides the soup, a lot of elements that Italian chef.
It's like, you know what that is? That's kind of like the meatball soup, the little Italian wedding soup, little meatball.
Kind of like that.
We make that on Thanksgiving. I love that. She would get mad though.
I love
help
that.
me make all the little meatballs. I'm like, I don't want to do that shit. I just want to eat.
I never knew that was Italian wedding soup. It was just a soup that my
my
mom and dad must have had it at an Italian wedding and replicated.
Well, no, I don't know. Is it?
I love it.
It's like escarole, right? I think.
I have no clue.
We never called it Italian wedding soup. I think
Neither
that's.
did I either.
I
But I never knew what it was.
Name, and
I was just meatball.
Yeah.
Tiny meatball soup with
and
egg
it
in
just became the Italian wedding soup because they gotta make some sort of lane for it, I guess. Either way, it was fantastic. We had a good night.
What'd you condiment yours with?
Huh? What do I condiment it with?
Where my parents made it.
We had we would use like a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah, chopped up in a bowl.
Yes.
Very Mexican to do that.
The hard-boiled and the hard cheese, like whether it be
very Mexican.
Parmesan,
think about Chipotle, like how they got all that shit out.
It's Italian. It's not a Mexican. Okay.
Well, no, but when you have Mexican tacos in a Mexican household.
Oh yeah.
All these ingredients are separate.
Yeah.
So you could just
make whatever you want.
Make it your way. Same kind of way with the Italian wedding soup.
Well, I mean, the soup is made. You just
but
you want to put cheese in it. You want to put the eggs in it. Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic. I haven't had it in a while. I'm gonna.
I haven't had it forever.
Thanksgiving's a while away. Well, it's not too far away, actually.
I gotta tell my mom to make it. I haven't had it forever.
But yeah, we had a good night. We enjoyed our wrestling. We had a great time at the wrestling event. This kid, I'm not wearing a wrestling shirt today. Watched last week's episode. You can see I'm a huge wrestling fan. And we had a great time. Was that the first independent? You've been to wrestling events prior?
Yes.
You never went to an independent one, though?
No.
Right? You know, WWE. It's totally different thing. It's way more relaxed, way more fun. Like you see how the guys were joshing around with the wrestlers, like, very nice interacting.
All right. So like you're the wrestling fanatic, right? So for you that sets a bar in your head of where this is in terms of what you see, what you normally watch.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you set the bar on this? It's like the WWE, the pros.
Oh, like the quality of the performance?
Right.
I mean,
it would just say the professionality of that, right? Would you say WWE is like a 10 out of 10?
Yeah.
Who would be number 2? Who would be like the next spot below?
Either TNA or AEW.
Okay, I've heard of AEW. TNA, I think I might have heard of.
They used to be Impact, then they went back to TNA.
Yeah,
they've been around for a very long time.
So they're like
they've been around for 20-something years.
On a scale of 10. WWE being 10.
WWE is 10. AEW's 1.
AEW's 1?
Yeah, I'm taking a shot at them.
Okay.
TNA, they're professional. They're on TV.
I'm talking like scale of quality, right? WWE like 10, the best. The
production
best,
quality?
Just overall quality.
Like wrestling quality? The performers?
The best fucking everything, right?
Okay, so the talent, the actual wrestlers they're WWE quality. Some guys have wrestled there and for one reason or another left, and now they're in these places. But they are top talent. Production-wise, nothing comes close to the WWE. I mean, it's $1 billion, the way they do the cinematics, like little storytelling, mini movies, none of them come near that. But the talent-wise for the wrestling, I mean, those guys go to WWE all the time. It's like rotating. Oh, this guy, So talent-wise, almost par, I would say. Let's just say 7, 8 compared to WWE's 10. But some people in WWE aren't that talented, and I would make their talent out of 5. But they're in the WWE for one reason or another.
So it's like organization.
Yeah. Like, right? There's good guys and bad guys. So the WWE is number 1. AEW.
Top of the list. But let's say the scale. Let's say they're 10 out of 10, right?
Let's say they're at the top.
Right.
S tier.
They're the top of the fucking chart.
Yes.
Okay. Where's AEW?
AEW's on them. They would be like second.
Okay, so they'd be like, I don't know, 7 and 8?
Yeah.
What would you say, right?
7, 8.
Okay.
Same thing with TNA, 6, 7.
Where would
these guys won?
These guys be?
Absolute 1.
These guys were 1.
Absolute 1.
At the very beginning.
I mean, you saw
the beginning of the scale, right? Not that it's like negative or anything, but beginning of the scale.
Yeah, because
these guys. It's like the beginning of the beginning. Or would you say like
I give them a 3.
I'll give Belmont, a little like built gym that they have over
these guys here. These guys are like
literally wrestled
a negative
2 blocks away.
Yeah, they're -1. They're 1.
They're negative.
They're
1.
1.
Well,
Let's just say they're 1. And no disrespect. They're
but it's literally backyard wrestling.
Yes,
Right?
they're starting. It's
Right.
like you and me, like
You
let's
roll
go to
up the
wrestle
gate.
school. Yeah, yeah.
There's the
And then
fucking
there's the
thing.
ring.
There's no way to really watch. You got to watch.
And
on the
again,
sidewalk.
no knock on them. I love those guys. See them. I'm
But
like,
that's the
I like
smallest
that
of
they're
small.
doing
It's the
their.
beginning.
Yes, that's the beginning. That's the. I got a dream. You know, then that level that we saw is like 3. Like, oh shit, I went from here, and now they want to use me as a
Like
ref
3
or something.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they'll be like 3.
Neighborhood backyard wrestling 1.
Yeah.
Those
Those
we
guys
went to go see yesterday. Fight
3.
Factory a 3. AEW 7, 8.
6, 7,
Okay. Well,
8. You know,
all right.
higher up.
TNA, AEW, same kind of quality.
Same quality.
And then you got
WWE's
the top of the
the
top,
Hollywood
WWE.
movie, you know, King of the Castle.
Okay. Where I was going with that was Yamazaki is like your WWE fucking top show on Monday night. You're gonna watch top pay-per-view place. I would say is the 18, maybe the Yamazaki 25.
Okay.
The 12, I would say, would be like the guys training to get into WWE. They go to that farm or whatever for 3 months, and they wrestle for 3 months.
That'd be like NXT, yeah.
Right?
WWE's
Like those guys are about to become, like the 12-year-old Yamazaki will eventually, if you age it longer, will become WWE, right?
That's NXT. That's WWE's
Like
farm system.
The Yamazaki 12 is a great whiskey,
Yeah.
right? But if you want top tier, quality level shit, top of the game, the highest guy in the food chain, Yamazaki 18 to 25, that's where you want to be. Now, the other guy above WWE, like the Yamazaki 25s, the Yamazaki 30s, crazy shit like that, those I think would be like the John Cena's. Where like not only were they a wrestler, now they became like a movie star.
Like The Rock.
Like, fucking
John
like,
Cena, The Rock.
like the 5 or 6 you can count, right? That have just made it
Okay.
into the fucking and like the
The
hundreds
lexicon,
of millions of dollars.
the Hulk Hogan,
echelon.
you know,
Yeah,
like
the
everybody
Hulk
knows.
Hogan's.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So you can understand the comparison. If you're a big wrestling fan, you can understand where we are in whiskey.
We're turning this into a wrestling
What
podcast.
would be a number 3, like what we saw last night, like kind of like in between, like the beginning and in between, like the pros?
I would say that's something like I don't know. What
Damn, it's like tough to fucking.
In the Japanese whiskey
I'm so
game?
deep into my own analogy right now.
In the Japanese whiskey game?
In the Japanese whiskey game, I gotta say like Hatozaki, even though that they're pro shit. I would say Hatozaki.
No, but I would say Hatozaki's
Akashi.
higher than what we saw yesterday.
Okay, well, yes, right. So Hatozaki, Akashi, they're gonna be AEW quality, right? Because the 12-year-old is the guys who could become the WWE. The 18-21 is like the pro WWE. The above that is the fucking the Hulk Hogan superstar movie WWE guy. All right, so the 12 would be those guys trained to get in. Below the 12, which Yamazaki doesn't have. Well, Yamazaki does. They have the Tokai. That's part of their whole thing. I really don't like Tokai. Sorry. I'm sure they'll be fine. They'll make enough money. But that's the AEW. Was those guys?
Well, we should really be using New Japan Pro Wrestling to describe the.
We'll play this analogy in another episode. We're gonna wrap this one up. Kind of running over already. But yeah, that's the kind of level of quality wrestling we saw yesterday.
Terrible analogy. However, I had a great time.
Who did you meet there?
Enzo Amore. Shout out Enzo.
Okay, and there was
because I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here is Big Anthony, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guy in the room. How you doing?
See, if I was sitting across the street in my window and I was looking at this guy just saying this to someone on the street, I'm like, that's a completely crazy person.
Yeah, well,
that's wrestling fans.
That's
devout. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I'm JP. This is your Anthony.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I think Anthony's drunk already.
Take care.